Hello, I'm Tony, and I'm back being a detective in Word of the Law, Death Mask, a new point-and-click puzzle adventure, free from Amazon Games via the Legacy Games launcher until the end of September 2022. We're right back in the Family Mysteries Poisonous Promises territory here, with a crime story to solve via hidden objects and puzzles, though this adventure includes even creepier faces. A weird combination of photographs with animated mouths that just looks wrong, and also successfully avoids matching the dialogue perfectly. Apart from that, the graphics are serviceable, and the voice acting didn't make me want to stuff my ears full of socks, so okay. The story is a little more bare bones than in Family Mysteries though. It feels a bit more disjointed and there isn't much detective work going on. More of a chase, which is a lot less rewarding than I was expecting. The sequence of events doesn't make a huge amount of sense sometimes, and it feels like a lot less effort was put into the game. This extends to the puzzles too, which are the standard pick up an object here, use it in a previous scene to pick up another object, and so on and so forth to complete these long, sometimes very convoluted sequences to progress the story. In this one, objects are reused. I've seen corks multiple times, and some of the ways you use objects makes no sense at all. The worst example in my 2 hours of play was using a metronome as the fulcrum for a lever along with a plank of wood. What? How strong do we think a delicate metronome is, eh? And the placement for it was extremely specific. You couldn't click near the plank, but you had to click kind of under the chest that I was trying to move, which is not quite where the hint told me to click. Like I said, just little details are a bit lazy. There's also a ton of other examples of this lack of logic to the puzzles, which occasionally forced me to try everything on everything. Sometimes when something finally worked, I just went, eh, why? To be fair, the majority kind of do make sense, roughly, but some seem to just be chucked in to make these chains of objects longer, so it's a longer story. Who cares if it makes sense or not, or whether it's logical or obeys the laws of physics? How do I blow away smoke? Well, with a hat, obviously, like everyone does. On the plus side, I did like some of the puzzle games. This feels like where most of the effort was put, and it paid off maybe half the time, if that. A standout was one that required a bunch of tiles to be arranged across 4 shapes, matching the shapes underneath, with a disc in the middle to swap between shapes. You can see it as I talk, so I don't know why I'm explaining it so much. But this one took a bit more time, like maybe about 10 minutes or so to work out, and was all the better for it. There aren't as many hidden object sub-games in this one, and they seem to have tied it more into the story and the environment. It's not so weirdly misplaced. I was playing on the casual level, because I am a filthy casual for these games, and all the sub-games can be skipped, though all but one of them were pretty straightforward. The hidden object bits were not bad, they're pretty decent. There was nothing too obscure in there, but there was enough interactive elements to sort of make you think about it, make it interesting. Now, I didn't enjoy this one as much as the Family Mysteries one. I finished that, but I'm quitting at the 2 hour mark for this one. I think I'm about halfway, maybe a third of the way through, and I've had enough. The plot points of the story are nonsensical. The detective you play is not the sharpest tool in the box. That would be the small katana. And they regularly get knocked out, stranded somewhere, or kind of fails to do anything about the villain just running away from them. Somehow they do keep catching up, so maybe they're not as bad as I think they are. It's a shame I won't see them finally apprehend the baddie, but the overly contrived puzzles and to-ing and fro-ing between scenes is just a bit too much. Naturally, I'm not going to recommend this to any but the hardest of hardcore or hidden object fans. This is not the best example of the genre. Now that I've quit the force in disgust and handed my badge and gun in, I'm off to find a new profession. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.